Hello once again. This evening, I think I'm going to switch subject matter and from poetry, and I hope that you enjoyed those videos. But at the same time that I published my book, Stonekeeper, I also published this particular book, Writers Crossing Boundaries, Writing the Real World. And this is not a book of poetry, it's a book about writing and about being a writer. And it's about a lot of different genres of writing and experiences. As a matter of fact, in the contents page, I start off talking about how memory animates analytic work, creative nonfiction as original scholarship. And then I write about writing standards at the CIA and competition as writers at the CIA. As I said in one of my earlier videos, I served as an analyst there for a number of years and really liked it. And believe me, their writing standards are the highest I've ever seen anywhere. I also write about the psychology of words, and then a big section in this part one is something that I've developed. It's a methodology for conducting research and analysis for, let's say, a long intelligence assessment or a long research paper or what have you, or a researched argument. And so I talk about selecting and evaluating sources, conducting the interview, beginning analysis, directing the analysis, etc. So it's 12 steps. It's a 12-step program to research and analysis. And then I talk about my creative writing experiences, my interest in religion, my outlook and final thoughts on some global issues. I have numerous appendices in part one. Some literary analysis of poetry with writing assignments, web sources for study of religious conflict, source evaluation forms, some analytic methodology. And then I go into part two, which I call Reading and Writing Memories. And this is both a reader, it can be used as a reader in a composition class or any particular, probably more advanced writing class. And so in it, it has a number of different genres of reading. The first section are political science readings, and I provide prompts also for writing assignments. The next section in part two is my favorite American poets. Robert Frost, writing about Robert Frost, writing memories and meaning, writing life choices, and then writing images and eras. I have some of Allen Ginsberg's poetry. Favorite Irish and English poets, Yeats, Donne, Wordsworth. I have many commentaries of my own literary commentaries on some of these works. One of my favorite is my commentary on The Trimmer, and Satire and Christianity, and then reading religion. And I do have some readings from Zecharia Sitchin. I've been interested in his writings of late. I don't agree with everything he espouses, but he's made me think in different ways about the origins of mankind. And then I have a selection from Isaiah, and then a literary piece that I call Reading Scripture, which is my own literary analysis. So I want to thank Linus Publications once again, and Mr. J. Harath for being so generous as to publish 2 books of mine at the same time. That was really just the most wonderful thing, one of the most wonderful things that's ever been done to me. Thank you. So what I'd like to do is probably read you some sections from sections. just so that you know what the book is about. The first section, I think I'll start with memory animates analysis. Memory is the accumulation of sensory experience and should not be limited to ordinary personal narratives at a university level. Memory makes writing possible through research and study of a multitude of disciplines. The ability to remember information and apply that data quickly to analysis is the number one demand of the marketplace. Memory is who we are as a people, the memory of our ancestors and the connections we have with others, and the connections we do not. I am my memories of travels, of scholarship, of very hard work. Everything I am as a writer includes my environment, but cultural considerations do not surpass accumulation of knowledge and experience and bits of wisdom learned. I like to connect the images I have seen and heard and studied and try to make image connections with other cultures, religions, politics, economies, militaries. I want to understand how people and nations connect, our ancient origins, the truth of who we all are and who we are not. A writer-analyst's memory is central to the analytic process. Memory is not just the aptitude to recall facts, but to recall patterns that relate factors to broader concepts. Quote, according to Plato, human perception reveals phenomena as transient or relative surface reality, whereas reason detects an absolute, permanent, universal, homogeneous reality. Sensory objects exist in the perceptual world, while the principles of reality exist in the metaphysical world of thought. As an analyst, I have learned through experience that I do not want to perceive what I expect to perceive. Patterns of expectation become so ingrained that they actuate perceptions. Being objective does not ensure accurate discernment and consequently sound analysis. My experiences in education can impair my analysis. Writer-analysts are prone to assimilate ambiguous data into pre-existing ideas that validate entrenched views. This is what analysis requires. To study information and reorganize it visually or mentally, to apprehend it from a contrary perspective. Perspective once forms, then resists other outlooks. All writing involves memory. Creative writing remembers symbols and images and makes them fun to read and think about and connect to and be part of. Professional and business writing remembers contracts, old and new, remembers proposals, and promotes the United States economy. Classical argument remembers laws and promotes structure and order of thinking and rational thought. Okay, so that's one of the very, very first sections of